Yeah, good morning, friends. Today we'll discuss data acquisition system, pulse width modulation, RTC. These are the three topics in the unit number 4. Okay, then we'll go to the next one. Data acquisition. Data acquisition means data collection. So from where data collecting? From the outside world that is called as a real world. So from the real world, how the data will be collecting by the microcontroller, that is called as data acquisition system by using MSP 430 microcontroller. So in this, the data which is available in the outside world, we are taking as an input to a transducer. This transducer which will be converting these physical quantities, that is a physical quantity, because the physical quantities are there, those are a temperature or pressure or light or sound, whatever it may be. Those signals will be converting into an electrical signal, an electrical signal. So which will be convert? A transducer will be convert a physical quantity into an electrical signal. Electrical signal. This electrical signal is an analog signal. This analog signal you have to convert into a digital signal for microcontrollers. So these are all the devices in the MSP 430 consists of timers, analog to digital converter, DAC and PWM. These all things are available in these microcontrollers. So now first these analog signals will be converting into digital signals. Those digital signals are converted through by using analog to digital converter or timers. Any timers you can use to converting these analog signals into digital signal. This digital signal can be stored into a memory. Into the memory. This digital data, again, if you want to convert into again a physical quantity, there you have to convert into digital to analog converter or pulse width modulations. These systems are called as a actuate, actuator, actuators. These actuators are these energies, these signals are either mechanical energy or electrical energy or thermal energy or sound energy or light energy. So that means these energies will be generated by using DAC or PWM. So these signals will again sending to the outside world. Okay, so this is a data acquisition system. So in the examination, whatever I am explaining, so you have to write those words. Okay, clear? Okay, so based on this video, you have to write down the some main points. Okay, whatever the discussion. Okay, this is the data acquisition system. Then we'll go to the a pulse width modulation. Already you know what is meant by pulse width modulation. That means PWM. That width, the width of the signal will be varied. The width of the signal will be varied. Then we can say that pulse width modulation. The width of the signal, that width of the pulse, the width of the pulse will be varied. Those type of signals are called as pulse width modulation signals. So here we have a simple block diagram. Already you know that timers is used to generating pulse width modulations. So in this timers, we have a timers are operated in four modes. Already you all know four modes. One is stop mode, and another is up mode, and third one is continuous mode, and fourth one is up as well as down mode, up and down mode. So four modes, the timers are operated in four modes. One is stop mode, up mode, another is continuous mode, and fourth one is up mode and as well as down mode. So here in this pulse width modulation, you can use up mode. Up mode is used to generating pulse width modulating signals. So here the simple, that's why here I am taking 8-bit counter timer A register which is operated in up mode, in this up mode both sides will consist of an 8-bit comparator and a timer A capture compare register 1 and timer A capture compare register 0. Okay, this 0 timer A capture compare register 0 is used to store the number of cycles for taking for a period. So that means for particular time period, how many clock pulses, how many count is required. That count is stored into a timer A capture compare register. For example, if you generate a time period from, time period means for example here to here, the time period, the time for this time period, if you're suppose that is a 1 kilohertz. So for 1 kilohertz generation of time period we require 1000. That 1000 is a count. That 1000 count is stored here. And similarly here also the pulse width, in this the pulse width, so this pulse width is, let us assume 500, that 500, that 500 will be stored in a timer A CCR register. This, let us assume, suppose the clock is started, so the count is starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. Okay, so once you have to reaches to up to 500, then the counter will be stopped. The counter will be stopped. The logic go to logic 0, and it reaches to again is reaches to 0, 0. Then this will be compared again. Okay, so like that. So I'm going to explain by using the block diagram. Okay, so now we want to go to the next slide. We'll get clear idea. So here two registers are used. One register is used for the pulse width count and another will be used for period count, time period count. Okay, so same thing. Like here, this is the up counter. This is the up counter. Reaches to maximum and again reaches to 0. Okay, then here two registers. One register will be used for counting full count and another will be used for comparing with the, what is that, pulse width. Suppose if your count is 0 incremented up to reaches to pulse width, then that will be output is logic 1. After that, once you have to reaches to count value, that will be stop the counting. That's why that will go to the 0, logic 0. And again, when count is 0, start is count is 0, you reaches to maximum. Once you have to reaches to maximum, the count is reaches maximum, then again 2 suddenly reaches to 0. If reaches to 0, then this comparator output is becomes 1. Comparator 1 will be on. So once you have to reaches to CCR 1 register, that count register, okay, that will be again. So let this is the logic. Either logic output is either logic 1 or logic 0. So when we'll get the logic 1, if compare from 0 to a maximum, the pulse width is reaches to this TSCCR1 register. Once that will be reaches to 1, then this output will be maintained up to 1. If reaches to 0, then so this compare, this reaches to 0, then again this will be output will go to the logic 0. So then this up counter is automatically increases and it reaches to maximum value. At that time it becomes a 0. Okay, so that will be explained. Same thing I'm going to explain here. Okay, 1 and 0. 0th register, 1 register. 0th register is used for up counter, and one register will be used for comparison. So now you have to observe this comparator value will be varied. Comparator value will be varied. If suppose this is in a middle, if this is a middle, at the time this T, that is a on and off, both are equal. Both are equal. Similarly, if suppose CR1 count value will be very less, count value is very less, at that time this T on will be very small and T off will be very high value. T on will be very small, T off will be very high value. So this pulse width will be calculated by using duty cycle. By using duty cycle, the pulse width will be measured by using duty cycle. What is that duty cycle? Now you have to observe. Suppose the pulse width count is 32. The pulse width count is 32. And what is the maximum? 256, because an 8-bit is an 8-bit 2 power 8, you get 256. So duty cycle means that is that T, that is a time for on, time is for on, that is a 32 divided by one time period. Total time period is 256. Total time period is 256. So 32 by 256 will get 1 by 8. So that is, we require 1 by 8 power. Require the average power is average power or average voltage. We are calculated as 1 by 8 power or voltage. Similarly, if suppose pulse width is 128 bits, 128, the count is 128. So at that time, the duty cycle is 128 by 256. We'll get 1 by 2. That means T on and time off both are set. And here the pulse width is more, that is, we'll take the 224. So here the count for pulse width is 224 divided by 256, will get 7 by 8 of power. So this is like that we are calculating the pulse width of a duty cycle. So these small formulas are available. So let V average value, V average for pure sinusoidal signal, the average value is 0. Average signal is 0. So that will be calculated by using the formula is V average or VDC. DC, both we are studied in EDC. Okay, V average and VDC is equal to D into VCC. D means duty cycle. How to calculate duty cycle? The duty cycle is the time on, the pulse width, which will be on condition, by total time period. Total time period which consists of T on and as well as T off. Both is called as a time period. There is a T on by T time period into VCC. T on means pulse width. T period means the total time period into VCC. So similarly, what is that? Duty cycle of a nth period. We are also calculated with this TA CCR register 1 or 2. You can use any one, either 1 or 2. Either 1 or 2 we can use. And time period will be always stored in a timer, a CC or not register plus 1, because we have the count is starting from 0 to 255. Total 256. So that's why the count 255 plus 1, that will get 256. Similarly, the frequency of PWM will be calculated. The applied clock frequency divided by the count value. The count value. Okay, so that is a time period. Total time period will get the frequency of a pulse width modulation. Okay, that clear? Then we'll go to the last topic in our microprocessor and microcontrollers. Okay, so that is RTC. It is real-time clock. Real-time clock. So, okay, this real-time clock can be divided into, again here, two blocks, divided into two blocks. Okay, so this RTC can be used as a real-time clock. Clock means is a time. For using, generally we are using here our digital watches are called as a RTC, and also used for with calendar, and also used for 32-bit counter. 32-bit counter. Okay, so three functions are there. One is a real-time clock, and second one is calendar, and third one is 32-bit counter. And here also we can display the values in BCD or hexadecimal format, not a binary. Binary is very big lengthy, that's why we can use an hexadecimal, hexadecimal values, hexadecimal values. Okay, so here that is the use of your RTC, real-time clock. Okay, first you have a counters. Now you have to observe here RTC, RTC, NT, RTC, NT. Okay, counter 0 to 7, counter 8 to 15, 16 to 23, 23 to 31. So that is a counter. So that means a 32-bit counter. So you can use as a 8-bit counter, or you can use a 16-bit counter, or you can use a 32-bit counter. All four you can use as a 34 counter. For every counter we have an 8-bit overflow and 16-bit overflow and 24-bit overflow and 32-bit overflow. That means if you are reaching a maximum, that is a maximum count, at that time will generate the triggering, that time triggering enables triggering events by using interrupt flags, interrupt flags. Okay, and this, if suppose if you are not used as a counter, at that time this counter registers can be used for timers. Will be used for RTC seconds, this will be used for minutes, this will be used for hours, this will be used for day of the week, day of the week. So similarly here we have to use as a calendar. That for calendar, the calendar you can use for day, month and year, and year is low and year is high. That means 2020 you can use 20 higher, 20 lower, or 2019, 2019. That means 20 will be higher, 19 will be lower. Like that you can save. And similarly we have RTC alarm modes, alarm modes. So you can set the alarm by using this system. That alarm that is a minutes and hours, day and day of the week, day of the week. That is a 0th Sunday, Monday, first one is Monday, second is Tuesday. Like that you can arrange the day with day. Okay, that is a 0 to 6, from Sunday to Monday, Sunday to Saturday. Okay, like that you can set the values here. Okay, then come to the upper part. So in this we have to generate a real clocks, generating the clocks. Those clocks are generating available two registers. One is called RTC pre-scaling, RTC1 pre-scaler, 10x and 1. Two registers are available. Pre-scalers, RT0 PS, RT1 PS. These two are the two registers which is selecting different clock frequencies, different clock frequencies. That means 0 means 0 by 1, 2, divided by 3, divided by 4, divided by 8, divided by 8, divided by 8, 16, 32, 128. Similarly, here also 128. So total 128 into 120, that means 128, 128. So this 2 will be cascaded. Cascade. This output is connected to the here again. Cascaded. These two are cascading means this cascaded means this is 128 and 128. Total 256. 256 clock frequencies will be generated from from 1 divided by 1 divided by 2 divided by 4 divided by 8, like that we can generate divided by 256. Okay, that means total count is 256. 256 total count is 256, and here divided by 256 we'll get 1 second. We'll get 1 second. So that's why you can use two registers is used for dividers, which is called as a prescalars. You can call as a prescalars. These prescalars clocks will be given by using a clock and SM clock. And here also a clock and SM clock in addition to RT0 PS clocks. So total will get 8 plus 8, total 16. 16 dividers are available. Okay, these are the dividers. Okay, then this RTO PS hold means if you are stop these clocks, then you can hold. Okay, this generating different clock interrupts, different interrupt, prescaler, interrupt, prescaler, interrupt flag, and ready interrupt, and timer event interrupt, and alarm interrupt. These are the interrupts can be generated. Okay, then this is the hexa, that is a RTC mode. This RTC mode is also operating either hexadecimal number or BCD format. BCD format that will be selected by using here RTC BCD, and here you can the frequencies will be adjusted by using here the RTC calibers. RTC caliber. Okay, the accurate frequencies, and we can select the modes, either RTC mode or counter mode or alarm mode will be selected by using this RTC mode. Okay, so this is your simple block diagram of RTC, real-time clock. Okay, so here we have consists of 4 counters, which is cascaded one after the other. 4 counters, each has 8 was a 32-bit counter, and if not counter is not used at that time, these registers are used for displaying the time, real-time clock. Clock means seconds, minutes, hours, day of the week will be displayed. And in this calendar mode, we can use to display day, month, year lower, year higher, and also used for alarm. This will be last one is setting the alarm. Okay, this is a real-time clock, and this upper part is used for to generating different frequencies by using prescaler registers. Here from divided by 1, divided by 2, divided by 4, and again that will be cascaded here, divided by 1, divided by 2, divided by this, like that. Here divided by 128, here also divided by 128. Both are cascading will get divided by 256. So 256 by 256 will get 1 second. So that means that 1 second will be applied for seconds. Similarly, the remaining will be used for either minutes or hours or day. Okay, this is the diagram of your RTC. Okay, same thing I'm explained here. Calendar mode, the calendar mode is selected by using RTC mode is equals to 1. RTC mode is equals to 1. RTC mode will provide seconds, minutes, hours, day of the week, day of the month and year, and BCD and as well as hexadecimal format. Here this will be this RTC in MSP 430 will be applicable from 1901 to 2099 years. Okay, up to this will be working like that. The program is designed. Similarly, this switching from counter mode to calendar mode, at that time these registers cannot be it cannot be reset, and prescaler counts and also prescaler counter registers. These registers can also configured by using an software. Okay, then we have a control register. This control register is an 8-bit register. That 8-bit register is a RTC, a flag, RTC, interrupt enable, and timer, enable event, timer event, and mode selection, and hold means stop the RTC, and BCD format or hexadecimal format that will be selected by using this control register. Then real-time clock and its prescaler dividers. Okay, these prescaler dividers are two, RT0 PS, RT1 PS, which is provided 1 second clock, and which will be operated with 32 kilohertz in generally, and RTC PS and RTC1 PS both are cascaded. The cascaded both are applied to the 32-bit counters, 32-bit counter, and RTC BCD is 1, that is a BCD format will be selected. If the 0, that will be selecting an hexadecimal format. And similarly, a real-time alarm. So here I'm taking a simple example. A user wish to set an alarm every Tuesday 6:30, 6:30. At that time, what to do? Okay, so at that time you can use RTC alarm day of the week, day of the week. Okay, so 2 is a Tuesday, 2 is a Tuesday, Sunday is 0, Monday is 1, Tuesday is 2. Okay, so that's why TWO date of day of the week is set to 2, and hours means 06, and minutes means 30 will be selected in the RTC minimum. So once excuse me, to set this alarm, and then you have to generate the signal that is called as a AE bit. AE bit means alarm enable bit. If an alarm enable bit will be on, then these will be active. Alarm will be active. Then similarly, take another example. I want 5th day. I want alarm 5th day on every month. 5th day of every month. At that time, you can use is a RTC alarm day. So alarm day is 5, and hour is 6, and minute is 30. And after that, you have to enable the alarm. Automatically will get every day, every month, 5th day at 6:30 will get the alarm. Okay, so this is a simple example for alarm setting. This is your 4th unit. Up to this, your 5 units of your microprocessor and microcontrollers are completed. Okay, thank you.